The vast darkness of space had always been silent, a cold and indifferent expanse where civilizations rose and fell without notice. But on this particular day, something changed. The alien fleet, a massive collection of metallic ships shaped like obsidian arrowheads, approached Earth with calculated precision. Commander Day of the Alien Reconnaissance Unit studied the blue and green planet with clinical detachment. His species had conquered hundreds of worlds, and Earth seemed like another routine mission. Preliminary scans showed a planet divided, with multiple nations, conflicting technologies, and what appeared to be primitive defensive capabilities. In a hidden underground research facility beneath Seoul, Jay Park watched the first detection signals ripple across his multiple computer screens. His fingers moved quickly, tracing the unusual energy signatures that most would have missed. Something was coming, and it wasn't going to be friendly. Jay was different from typical researchers. At 35, he had spent years studying potential extraterrestrial invasion scenarios, a subject most of his colleagues considered pure science fiction. His thick-rimmed glasses reflected the rapidly changing data, and a slight smile crossed his face. This was the moment he had prepared for his entire professional life. The alien ships moved with impossible speed, their technology centuries beyond human comprehension. They approached Earth's orbital zone, sending out preliminary scanning waves that probed the planet's defenses. To them, this was a standard procedure: identify, assess, prepare for conquest. What they didn't know was that humans were watching. Not just watching, but preparing. In military command centers across the globe, advanced tracking systems began to light up. Satellites designed for communication and observation now served a different purpose. They tracked the incoming vessels, calculating trajectories and potential landing zones. Jay's team, a small group of scientists and military strategists, began sending encrypted communications to key global defense installations. Their message was simple but urgent. Something is coming and we need to be ready. The alien fleet consisted of 3 primary vessels, each larger than the biggest human structures. Their hull design suggested technological capabilities far beyond current human engineering: metallic surfaces that could absorb and redirect energy, quantum-based propulsion systems, and defensive shields that could repel most known weapons. Commander Day reviewed the initial planetary data. Humans seemed fractured, with multiple governments, competing technologies, and what appeared to be significant internal conflicts. Perfect conditions for an easy conquest. But Jay Park knew something the aliens didn't. Humans had a remarkable ability to unite when faced with an external threat. Their history was filled with moments of unexpected collaboration, technological leaps, and resilience that defied logical prediction. As the alien ships began their approach, cutting through Earth's atmosphere with calculated precision, Jay continued his preparations. He had spent years developing theoretical defense protocols, studying potential extraterrestrial technologies, and creating adaptive response models. The first contact was moments away. Radar systems across continents lit up. Military installations went into high alert. Governments that had been rivals moments before began emergency communication protocols. The incoming threat was about to change everything. Commander Day didn't realize it yet, but he was about to make the most significant miscalculation in his species' history. Earth was not just another conquest. Earth was something entirely different. Jay Park looked at his team, a group of brilliant minds from different backgrounds, united by a single purpose. This, he said quietly, is where everything changes. Outside, the first alien ships began to pierce the cloud layers, their massive shadows casting darkness over unsuspecting cities. Humanity's greatest test was about to begin. Little did the alien invasion force know, they had just picked a fight with a species that would redefine the meaning of resilience, adaptability, and unexpected power. The first contact was happening, and nothing would ever be the same again. The first wave of attacks came without warning. Massive energy beams sliced through urban landscapes, turning bustling cities into smoking ruins within minutes. Seoul, New York, and London became ground zero for the most devastating attack in human history. Kim Lee, a former Special Forces operative, watched from a hidden mountain observation point as the alien ships unleashed their initial assault. Their weapons were unlike anything humans had ever seen, pure energy that could slice through reinforced concrete and steel like paper. Buildings crumbled, communication networks sparked and died, and for a moment, it seemed like humanity would simply collapse. But Kim knew better. He had seen chaos before, and he understood something fundamental about human nature. When pushed to the absolute limit, people don't break, they adapt. Within hours of the initial attack, survivors began emerging from the rubble. Instead of panicking, they started organizing. Smartphone networks, though damaged, still functioned in some areas. People who moments ago were strangers became a unified network of survival and resistance. The alien commanders, watching from their massive mothership, expected total submission. They had conquered hundreds of worlds using this exact strategy: overwhelming force, complete destruction of infrastructure, immediate capitulation. Their battle algorithms predicted a 99.8% chance of immediate human surrender. They were wrong. In underground subway systems, in damaged government bunkers, in makeshift communication centers, humans began to fight back. Kim's training kicked in. He started coordinating small resistance groups using encrypted channels that the aliens couldn't easily track. Military personnel, civilians, tech experts, everyone who survived became part of a rapidly evolving defense network. The aliens' first mistake was underestimating human communication capabilities. Despite massive infrastructure damage, people found ways to share information. Satellite fragments, damaged cell towers, amateur radio networks, all became lifelines of resistance. Military units that survived the initial assault began implementing emergency protocols developed during years of theoretical invasion scenarios. What seemed like paranoid preparation years ago now became humanity's survival blueprint. Commander Day watched the human response with growing confusion. Their battle models showed complete chaos, yet these humans were organizing faster than any species they had encountered. Small groups were already reverse engineering captured alien technology, identifying weak points in the invasion force. J. Park's earlier preparations began to show their value. The research facility he had maintained for years now became a critical command center. Teams of scientists worked around the clock, analyzing alien weapon signatures, developing counter-technologies with remarkable speed. The invasion was supposed to take days. But hours into the attack, humans were already changing the game. In rural areas, farmers and local communities became unexpected resistance nodes. Communication networks spread through unconventional means. People on motorcycles, runners carrying encrypted drives, amateur radio operators sharing critical information. The alien fleet continued their assault, believing their technological superiority guaranteed victory. They didn't understand that human strength wasn't just about technology, it was about adaptability, collective problem-solving, and an almost unreasonable determination to survive. Kim Lee's team captured their first alien communication device. Within hours, tech experts were already studying its quantum communication protocols. What the aliens saw as a simple invasion was transforming into something they had never experienced. Cities burned. Millions were displaced. The destruction was unprecedented. But humanity wasn't defeated. They were just getting started. As night fell on the first day of invasion, something remarkable was happening. The species the aliens thought they would easily conquer was proving to be their most challenging opponent yet. Commander Day reviewed the battle reports with increasing concern. Their perfect invasion plan was unraveling in ways their computational models could never have predicted. Humanity was fighting back, and they were doing it with a spirit that no technological advantage could suppress. The real battle was just beginning. The world had changed in just a few days. What seemed like a certain defeat was now turning into something completely unexpected. He Choi, a young scientist with wild dreams and even wilder calculations, discovered something that would change the entire course of the invasion. Working in a makeshift laboratory hidden deep within a mountain research center, he analyzed the first captured alien communication device. Her fingers moved rapidly across specialized equipment, breaking down quantum communication algorithms that seemed impossible to human technology just weeks ago. The alien technology was complex but not unbreakable. Hay realized something fundamental. Every advanced system has a weakness. Her team worked around the clock, consuming energy drinks and surviving on minimal sleep. They were humanity's last hope, and they knew it. Captain Sung, a military strategist with years of unconventional warfare experience, connected with He's team. Their collaboration was unlike anything seen before. Pure scientific innovation merged with tactical military thinking. They weren't just defending, they were planning a counterattack. The alien commanders continued their assault, believing their technological superiority guaranteed victory. They didn't understand the human capacity for rapid adaptation. Every piece of alien technology they lost became a learning opportunity for human researchers. He's breakthrough came unexpectedly. She discovered a fundamental flaw in the alien communication grid, a quantum resonance frequency that could disrupt their entire network. It wasn't just a small vulnerability, it was a massive weakness that could potentially cripple their entire invasion force. Military units began implementing her strategies. Specialized teams developed electromagnetic pulse devices based on her research. Drones modified with experimental quantum disruption algorithms started targeting alien communication nodes. The invasion force, once seemingly invincible, began to show signs of vulnerability. In cities around the world, survivors transformed into a resilient network. Ordinary people became extraordinary defenders. A grocery store manager in Tokyo became a communication hub. A retired engineer in Brazil developed improvised electronic warfare tools. A group of university students in Berlin created a global information sharing platform that the aliens couldn't easily track. The alien technology, designed for absolute control, now faced an enemy that didn't play by any traditional rules of warfare. Humans were using creativity, collective intelligence, and an almost irrational determination to survive. Commander Day watched the human response with growing concern. Their battle algorithms, which had predicted a quick victory, now showed increasingly complex and unpredictable scenarios. Humans were not just resisting, they were learning and adapting at an impossible speed. He's quantum disruption algorithm became a turning point. When implemented across multiple platforms, it created cascading failures in the alien communication networks. Entire squadrons of alien ships suddenly found themselves unable to coordinate, their perfect technological advantage turning into a massive weakness. Captain Sung's military teams took advantage of every disruption. They weren't just defending anymore. They were actively hunting alien technology. Each captured device, each destroyed communication node, brought humanity closer to understanding their enemy. The invasion that was supposed to take days was now turning into a prolonged, complex conflict. The aliens had encountered resistance before, but never anything like this. Humans didn't just fight. They innovated, they adapted, they transformed every challenge into an opportunity. In research centers, military bunkers, and hidden communication nodes around the world, a new kind of warfare was being invented. It wasn't about superior technology anymore. It was about human spirit, collective intelligence, and an unbreakable will to survive. Commander Day realized something terrifying. They had made a critical mistake. Humanity was not a species to be conquered. They were a force of nature, unpredictable and unstoppable. The real battle was just beginning. And humanity was ready. The world had transformed into a battleground of survival and innovation. Yoon Park, a computer engineer with piercing eyes and hands that seemed to dance across technology, sat in a makeshift command center. Around him, a global coalition of the most brilliant minds worked with an intensity that defied human limitations. Beside Yoon, Min Kim studied holographic displays showing the alien fleet's movements. They weren't just defending anymore. They were planning a counterattack that would change everything. The global network they had created was more than a communication system. It was a living, breathing, defensive organism. Every piece of technology became a weapon. Satellites originally designed for communication now served as sophisticated tracking and jamming devices. Smartphones transformed into sophisticated sensor networks. Abandoned factories became production centers for experimental weapons. The alien commanders watched in disbelief. Their invasion, once a guaranteed victory, now looked like a potential disaster. The humans were doing something impossible. They were turning the invaders' own technology against them. Yoon's team had discovered a critical vulnerability in the alien quantum communication grid. By creating a complex algorithm that could mimic and then disrupt alien signal patterns, they could essentially blind entire squadrons of alien ships. What seemed like science fiction weeks ago was now becoming reality. Military units around the world implemented these new strategies. In the ruins of Seoul, in hidden mountain bases in South America, in underground facilities across Europe, humans were no longer just fighting. They were outsmarting their technologically superior enemies. The alien fleet began to experience systematic failures. Communication networks collapsed. Navigation systems went offline. Weapon systems became unpredictable. The perfect invasion machine was falling apart, piece by piece. Min's tactical expertise combined with Yoon's technological innovation created a defense network unlike anything in human history. They weren't just responding to the invasion. They were actively hunting the alien forces, turning every attack into an opportunity for counterintelligence. Global cooperation reached unprecedented levels. Countries that had been enemies weeks ago now worked together with a single purpose. Military resources, scientific knowledge, technological capabilities, everything was shared in a massive, coordinated effort. Commander Day watched the human response with growing horror. Their battle algorithms, once predicting a 99% chance of victory, now showed increasingly complex and unpredictable scenarios. Humans were doing something no species had ever done before. They were beating an invasion force that was technologically centuries ahead of them. The turning point came unexpectedly. A coordinated global attack using the quantum disruption technologies developed by HFY and implemented by Yoon's team created a massive technological tsunami. Entire alien squadrons went dark. Communication networks collapsed. Navigation systems failed. For the first time, the alien invasion force experienced something they had never encountered: total technological vulnerability. Survivors in cities around the world began to see something different. The alien ships, once seeming invincible, now looked vulnerable. Smoke billowed from damaged vessels. Communication signals became erratic. The perfect invasion was falling apart. Yoon looked at Min, a slight smile crossing his face. "We're winning," he said quietly. It wasn't a statement of triumph, but a simple observation of an impossible reality. The global coalition had done more than defend. They had created a new form of warfare, one that combined human creativity, collective intelligence, and an unbreakable spirit of survival. Commander Day's final transmission to his homeworld was chilling in its simplicity. Humans are not what we expected. The invasion that was supposed to last days was now a battle for survival, and humanity was proving to be an enemy beyond any computational prediction. The turning point had arrived, and nothing would ever be the same again. The final confrontation arrived with a silence more terrifying than any battle cry. Humanity had transformed from a seemingly vulnerable species to a force that would redefine galactic understanding of survival. Commander Day watched in disbelief as human counterattack strategies unfolded. What began as a routine planetary invasion had become a nightmare that would be remembered across alien civilizations for generations. The human capacity for adaptation had become their most powerful weapon. Global military and scientific teams coordinated an attack that defied all conventional warfare strategies. Using captured alien technologies, reverse-engineered quantum communication systems, and a network of improvised weapons, humans launched a multi-dimensional assault that targeted the very core of the alien invasion force. Kim Lee, leading a specialized strike team, infiltrated the primary alien command ship. His team moved with precision using technologies cobbled together from alien equipment and human innovation. They weren't just fighting. They were systematically dismantling an entire invasion infrastructure. The alien High Command realized too late that they had made a critical mistake. Humans were not a species to be conquered. They were a force of nature, unpredictable, adaptable, and driven by an almost incomprehensible will to survive. Yoon Park's quantum disruption algorithms created cascading failures across the alien fleet. Communication networks collapsed. Navigation systems went dark. Entire squadrons of alien ships became nothing more than floating metal tombs. In space, the battle reached its climax. Human-modified spacecraft, created from salvaged alien technology and human ingenuity, engaged the invasion fleet. Each ship represented months of rapid innovation, a testament to human creativity under extreme pressure. The alien commanders sent increasingly desperate communications to their homeworld. Their perfect invasion plan had become a total strategic defeat. Humans had not just defended, they had turned the entire invasion into a catastrophic failure for the alien civilization. Commander Day's final transmission was a chilling admission of defeat. The species they had considered primitive had demonstrated a level of technological and strategic adaptation that defied all previous galactic encounters. On Earth, survivors watched as the alien fleet began to disintegrate. Cities that had been reduced to rubble now saw hope rising from the destruction. The invasion that was supposed to end humanity had instead become humanity's finest moment. Kim's strike team reached the core of the alien command ship. With a series of precise actions, they triggered a total systems collapse. The massive vessel, once a symbol of technological superiority, became nothing more than floating debris. Yoon and Min watched from a hidden command center, their faces a mixture of exhaustion and quiet triumph. They had done what no one thought possible. They had saved humanity. The global communication networks, which had been crucial to the resistance, now spread a message of hope. Humanity had not just survived, they had proven themselves a force to be reckoned with in the universe. Scientific teams began analyzing the captured alien technologies. What had been an invasion was now becoming the greatest technological leap in human history. Every piece of alien equipment became a learning opportunity, a chance to understand technologies beyond previous human comprehension. Commander Day's final report to his civilization was a warning. Humans were not a species to be underestimated. They were adaptable, innovative, and possessed a spirit of survival that defied all computational predictions. As the last alien ships were destroyed or driven away, a new understanding emerged. Humanity was no longer just a planetary species. They had become a potential galactic power, a civilization that could transform challenges into opportunities. The invasion was over. But humanity's real journey was just beginning. In the ruins of cities, in hidden research facilities, in military command centers around the world, people looked to the sky. They had faced the universe's deadliest enemy and emerged victorious, and they were ready for whatever might come next.